Okay, so Elaine Somerville's on her way. Righty-hoo. Hello. You're muted. You're not muted. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you? Gorgeous.
Oh, I'm lots better, thank you, from last week.
Gosh, you look better. What was going on?
I'm not really sure. Some sort of bug, I think, because Monday I started to feel a bit odd and lightheaded and sleepy, and I slept for 3 hours on the beach whilst the grandkids played around and my son was busy looking after them. And I went, oh, that was a good 10 minutes. He went, no, Mum, that was 3 hours. I'm like,
oh! 3 hours?
Why didn't you wake me? He said, well, clearly you needed it.
Oh,
like,
good.
So, and then we came home and I just felt really lightheaded and woozy and dizzy and tired. And then Monday, I just slept for 17 hours. Didn't eat at all.
But how do you feel since? Do you feel different or?
I felt bruised for the rest of that week, if that makes sense. Bruised here.
Yeah. So very sensitive, very kind of, yeah, you feel everything.
Yeah, and I still felt woozy until probably about Thursday. Sort of not as much, but sort of like, ooh. My head sort of felt like it was doing that, even though it wasn't doing that. But since then, I've felt a lot better. I've had most bizarre dreams the last few days, but that's something else, I think. really.
Didn't we just have a new moon as well? I don't know, maybe we did.
Yes, yesterday.
That often, interrupts the dream things as well, when your subconscious becomes more kind of like obvious. Yeah. But I would imagine, when you get a bug like that really knocks you sideways, you can look at it in two ways. You can just kind of go, oh, well, that's just the way it is. I just caught a bug. Or you can kind of go, maybe I really needed that. Maybe I needed that on another level. So what did you take from it?
That I must have needed to have that rest and just sleep for 17 hours.
When you're sleeping,
I never do.
No, when you're sleeping, your body can only heal itself when you're resting. And that means even like resting your head. I mean, it knocked you out completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So sometimes when somebody has an accident or you get sick or you have to sleep like that, it's soul intervention, in the fact that you can't go on like this. I need to make some adjustments and recalibrate you and fix you and bring you up to speed. Or sometimes the body can be a little bit slower than the mind, or the mind can be slower than the body, or you need time out. And because we're so capable and planning and get things done and all the rest of it, we don't allow ourselves to stop. I mean, we talked about that, but I know that it's much harder. Oh, it's raining, good. It's much harder just because you're in life. You're just in life, and you get lost in the kind of the downward spiral, and you kind of go, and I get that too, to do with work usually. It's like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And you have this list of things to do, and we just aren't able to let go of it until something like that happens, because we haven't listened to all the little nudges before that. So how would you say that you had been maybe nudged before that you hadn't paid attention to?
I don't know that it's that. I have taken it on that after I was out with you and had such an amazing time, I was looking at life differently.
Yes.
But I think I'd slowly started to slip back into old habits
Okay.
of working a little bit longer and not taking a lunch break, da 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 da
Yeah.
da da da.
I get where you're going, yeah.
And I think it was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Pack it in.
Yeah.
You weren't going to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I take it. It's like, no, you promised yourself you weren't going to be working silly hours.
Yeah.
You promised yourself you're not going to be working through lunch breaks. You promised yourself you would eat properly. And the last 10 days, that's just gone way out the window. So that's what I took from it, as a sort of a prod to say, this isn't what you signed up for.
Okay, that is absolutely brilliant that you've seen it like that, and that's where I'm going, in the fact that when even if I have like an initial call or a contact or something with somebody, the soul gets kind of like sparked up. You know, as soon as I kind of say, who do you want to be in the next phase of your life? What does she look like? What does she speak like? Well, how is she? You know, she's always kind of like, ooh, somebody's listening. You know, and then once the person kind of goes, yeah, God, God, that feels great. I'd love to do that. And then if they decide not to work with me, it's kind of like, be careful now. Be careful. The same as my wall falling down or something like that. You know, things, just take a step back and kind of like look at the whole picture and kind of go, so it starts with your body, it starts with your thoughts, it starts with illnesses, it starts with a kick up the backside. I fell over and about 2 years ago slipped and cracked my coccyx, or like it really hurt. So and the people around me were going, oh my God, that's so serious, I've had that and wasn't able to walk. And I was like, ooh, hang on a second. Let me deal with this. I don't want to take on any of your rubbish to do with that. Like, right, okay. First of all, I will not be bruised. So what's my thoughts to do with that? Not bruised. It was sensitive at the time. And I just came up with like, what sentence that's positive that means that I don't get bruised? Like, my skin's perfect. Da, 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 da. Then the next day I was thinking, really, why did that happen? All right, so I looked up coccyx and I thought, well, feels like somebody just kicked me up the arse. I was talking to somebody else, and sometimes that's when things come up. And I was like, Roma, have you just kicked me up the arse? Yes. Right, okay. And as soon as I got it, again with the sciatica or anything else, it kind of disappeared, and then I forgot that I'd even fallen. You know, and then I kind of thought, I saw somebody about a month later and said, oh, how was your backside? You know, you fell over. And I was like, oh yeah, so I did. Because I paid attention. So if I think about, I can't remember at the time what the stories were that I was telling, in that maybe I was kind of moaning or complaining or something about the kids or something else, or I wasn't doing what I knew I could do. So like when you get to a certain level, it's like you can't go back anymore. You've really got to start taking care of, what did we say you were inside? Like you kind of resonated with it being a puppy or something like that, the beaten and broken.
Yeah, the puppy in the cupboard under the stairs.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about here. And she's kind of going, how am I going to get you to really take notice? Because, you know, you can carry on forgetting and put yourself to one side, but you kind of made a promise to me now. And if I was your partner, if I was your husband, or if I was something like that, I wouldn't let you get away with that.
And that, I think, is very much it, because I had started to drift with my connection with Star, and I've apologized. I'm like, I am really sorry that I clearly was just falling back into that.
We all do. We all go. We're on this planet, and it's very difficult sometimes to sort of, you know, that you experience it and you absolutely love it, but at the same time you've awoken the soul and you know who you want to be, but because everybody around you is on a certain level, sometimes it's tough to kind of stay there. So this is what we're building in this whole series of calls, is like this inner strength when you are your first priority. I mean, we spoke about it, and
I have advocated that to 2 people this week.
Oh, really?
Put yourself first, second and third.
Oh, well done.
Two of my friends have absolutely burst into tears when I've been talking to them, because they are both at that point where they are about to really buckle. And I've said,
Burnout.
and I've said those questions that you asked me. Who takes care of you? And they both went, well, nobody.
Nobody.
Okay. So who puts you first? Well, no, I'm always at the bottom of the list because they're both mothers, they're both working people, and they've got families, and they've got elderly parents and all of that. And I'm like, so what good are you to them when you're not functioning?
Yeah.
And that's how I see it now. I don't any longer see it as being selfish. I'm like, I need to take care of me so that I can then support you guys, because otherwise I'm no good to anybody.
Yeah. And I bet they're struggling with exhaustion, probably with weight, with physical symptoms.
Oh yes, big styling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've told them what I've been doing with you, and they're like, oh, right. And they've all got your website address and everything else. So I'm throwing these people at you.
I just see it that I plant the seed, like I plant the seed in you, and it just goes out. Because I mean, I thoroughly believe that whoever I connect with, like with you, and I do the work that I do, and with other people, it's like we then go out and kind of, oh, it sounds weird, the word missionary is coming into my mind. We go out and we kind of spread the word and kind of say, hey, stop it. Take care of yourself, go and take a holiday, but don't just take a holiday and do nothing. You have to learn the questions that you need to ask, and you need to be able to hear the answers.
And I only found that I was able to do that when I was with you.
Yes.
There.
You need the real,
nothing else going on.
Yeah, you need to be taken care of so that you can actually find the answers.
Yeah, but it was away from society as well, because I mean, for a holiday, I saw you, Alex, and the children, and maybe the few odd people when we were walking, but that was it. And that was just wonderful for me, because it's like, yeah, actually, I don't need to see people on holiday, which is why I didn't put makeup on for 3 days. I'm like, I can just be me, chill, relax. If I want to put makeup on, I will, and if I don't, I won't.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have felt this week, I have felt hugely different. Now that I've sort of recognised and really thought about things.
Do you see why it has to be over a period of time?
Oh,
because
absolutely.
You know what to do. You know the diet, for example. You know you've got the video recorder, but you never put the video in. You know the diet, but you can't actually do it. I catch you every single time, and because you know that I'm in the background, or there's somebody there who's going to make sure you take care of yourself. That's why it's a shame when people kind of drop off, because they don't really realise what's going on and what they're not prepared to look at. So the reason it has to go on like this, there's nothing technical, there's nothing clever. It's like, same for me. Do your practice, take care of you. And as you do, the practice gets deeper and you allow yourself to go further. And all of a sudden, when you look back, you can't even believe where you came from.
No, and it's to me, it's about making it my habit, my routine, rather than making myself do it. It comes instantly and automatically and all of those things, rather than...
I call it like, it has to be an affair.
You
know,
I would agree.
You know when you have that feeling of like, oh, I'm going to go and see someone, I'm getting really tickled and excited, and like, I remember when somebody told me about, it was shamanic work I was doing, like, you need to be able to go and sit down the river, by the river, Fiona, and do nothing, what we did. And I went, no phone, no notebook, I can't do that, but you've got to go all day, Fiona. I said, you are bloody kidding me, I can't do that. It was a case of, no, I don't think I can do that at all. And so I went, I thought, right, okay, fine. I promised myself I'll go for 2 hours. Sit still for 2 hours, oh my God. And then decided then and there that I'd do it for another day, found somewhere else that I enjoyed going. I'll tell you what, I think I need to go back and do that. I do it for a little while, but never for as long as I did then. But it was just like, oh, I've got this morning. Sod it, I'm going to go. And it was like having an affair. It
That's
was like,
sneaking out.
it's sneaking out and kind of like, oh, how have I got? I'm not going to take the dogs. I'm not going to take anything. It's just me. That was so selfish for me.
Yeah, but it's so rewarding though, isn't it? Because you come back, I don't know.
I got great
Fresh.
ideas. I felt fantastic. All the kind of issues and things in the home, I was like, oh God. Just melted away like.
Yeah.
These the beginning steps, you know, these are the taking care of yourself, finding your safe place, taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, second, and third, spreading the word, because as you spread the word, you are recommitting to yourself and noticing when you feel shite, when you feel aware of what's going on. Yeah, and your habits change.
But also for me, by sharing the word, it makes other people realise what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Do you understand when I say that it's, for me, it's a finishing school?
Mm. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not sure that finishing is the right word, as we discussed before.
No, but it's like the richness school.
Absolutely.
Where's the richness in my life? You know, everything's kind of vanilla or mediocre or average, but it's that, where's the richness in your life? Where's the depth?
Mm. And you're absolutely right. I think women of a certain age, and it can be young women as well, it just depends what's happening in their lives. But you get to a point where you're like, actually, there is more to the world and my life than this.
Excuse my French, but I bloody hope so.
And I don't want to repeat the last 40, 50 years and have the next whatever I've graciously been given. Well, we know it's going to be another 60 years because I've said I'm living to 120. So the next 60 years, doing exactly the same as I've already done, because then what have I learned?
What do you think the question is that makes you kind of go, no more?
I think that question will be different for everybody. And for me, that question is, it's time for you. It is time for you.
All right, but if you heard yourself screaming, just let me go play with you here. I don't want to live like this anymore. Did you ever?
The only person that, well, no, I never got to that point.
Okay.
But the only person that's going to change it is you.
True, but you have to hear something inside your head that says, I don't have time for this, I don't have time, I just don't want it to be like this. This was never the way it was meant to be. This isn't the kind of mother I wanted to be. This isn't the kind of relationship I wanted to have. You know, there's a frustration there that kind of like, it's not good enough anymore. There's got to be more. Like you wake up and you just go, there's got to be more to kind of getting up on a dark morning, having lousy breakfast, going to work or doing whatever you do, and then coming home and it's dark again, and eating and going to sleep and then getting up again.
Oh, absolutely. But also, for me, it's about, I've got more inside of me that wants to come out, experience, develop and grow. But because of I suppose that the hamster wheel that we're on, I'm just doing the same things again and again. And I now going, do you know what? I'm stopping this and I'm getting off. Yeah. And I'm walking around freely, doing more of what I want to do, when I want to do it, and who I want to do it with. And if I don't,
but you wouldn't, I mean, you may have got to that point yourself.
Unlikely.
Okay.
I would say that's unlikely, because when you're in that hamster wheel, you can't see what's in front. And you've allowed me to go, do you know what? It's more than that hamster wheel that's in front of you. It's more than just what you've already done. Look over there. That's different outside of here. And it doesn't matter that you can't see right into the future, because with the hamster wheel, you know what's coming because it's predictable. It's just coming around again and again.
Yeah.
But by looking, say, to the left or the right or whatever, it's like, yeah, you can see as far as your eye can see, but you don't know what's over that hill. Ooh, how exciting is that? And that, for me, was the difference. It's like, oh, no, I don't know what's over that hill. And I'm glad I don't know what's over that hill, because who knows what it could be.
I know.
It could be anything.
But that's what you get to design. That's what you get to choose. You have a choice in absolutely everything. And we're not just talking about in what you eat or partners or countries you want to live in or houses you want to live in. I mean, you have a choice in everything. It's like when you become sensitive in your body, you kind of go, don't like the way that feels. Oh, no, I really don't like the way that feels. Why would I tolerate that? Completely different to kind of thinking, well, I've really got to sit here because it's my family and or it's my partner's family, and I don't need to say anything. Excuse me, but fuck that.
Yeah. Like, really? Why would I want to waste 3 hours of my life sat in a room?
With, circumstances, or with a boss that kind of touches you up, or with a boss that kind of thinks it's okay to, ignore you, or anything. You have a choice. Most of us have been in a situation where we sit still and we don't move but inside there's a volcano. Inside when you're a little girl, and that's why I always go, come on, where is she? Let's remember her. Let's go get her. She's agile, she's fun, she's frisky, she's playful, she's playing pranks. When you get to know her, it's so much easier. I just sent the other Elaine a message to see whether she's coming or not, but I don't know, because I wanted to there's a couple of things I wanted to do, and for you to experience, because I know sometimes it's difficult to be in that state when you're on your own, to be able to ask yourself certain questions. So unless there's anything that you want to sort of fill me in on, how anything's going, good or bad or ugly or anything.
Everything had sort of slowed after I came back, because I was incredibly on this high, and then I did crash afterwards, which you said could possibly happen. And it's taken a while to get back up, which is partly my doing, and partly allowing, it's all my doing, and it's allowing other things to influence me and not go, no, you promised you weren't going to do this again. You said you were coming back a new woman, and you are. So stop it, sort yourself out, let's get back on track. So I need to sort of reconnect again properly with Star, because our relationship has become a little estranged, and I take full responsibility in that. And I do feel that was part of last week's experience of just resting. And
your dreams, were they very, very vivid in things that you can pinpoint to do with that subject as well, that they would be
no, a lot of it has been about past things. It's almost like it's clearing the backlog.
I just got that. So you said that, and before you said it, I was just kind of like, okay, you're in forgiveness, you're clearing, you're washing out. So let me just explain to you something that I think I explained to you when you were on the retreat as well. When I first started doing this, like 5 or 6 years ago, I'd get so incredibly high, like you were, and then I'd kind of go, oh, I can't cope with that anymore. Or my body would, there was this sort of kind of catching up to do, and the energy was kind of like going like this, which is what you've experienced. And what we're aiming for is more that. Now that comes with, sometimes changing your nutrition. Sugar's very spiky, like it gives you these, sugar spikes and depths, dive. So nutrition can do that, but your thoughts can do that, but also just kind of like having Star or Roma for me, or, your spirit on board, that will actually help enormously as well. And every time you feel an extreme high, I used to expect the extreme low, but what you can do is kind of just put certain things into action, and that's why it's a practice. So you put certain things into action. So what are all the things that you would do that really fill you up? And we talked about those, and we made a list of those, and it's just kind of like just staying true to you. You know, you've got your yes and your no now. If you're in any doubt about anything, those are your choices. There's always something you can ask a question about, but often we just don't ask, or we just don't ask the right questions.
And I think that's it, isn't it? Sometimes it's asking the right question, and although we know it, we may not ask it because we might not want to know the answer.
Hear the answer. Yeah.
And it's like, well, actually, that's not being true to anybody, particularly yourself. So get and ask the question because you clearly want to. And whilst you don't ask it, it will always be hovering there anyway. So ask
what
it
I
and deal with
understand
it.
as well by doing this is you can't do it unless you've got your safe place organised in the first place. You need to know that you're safe before you can ask those questions. You need to know that you're supported. So you've not now got staff, so you know that you've got some support. And it's just a question of kind of like getting to know how that works and trusting that she will support you, the universe will support you, God, whatever you want to call it, that you are supported. You're doing a great job. There's, absolutely nothing wrong with you, all those kind of things.
And I do say that to myself. I was repeating that to myself this morning. You are brilliant, Elaine. You are amazing. You look good. Everything is working. I mean, I had to go for the smear test this morning, unfortunately, which she always has problems with. And she said, oh, I'll take your BP afterwards. She said, I never know that it's right doing it after this because it's such a traumatic and invasive experience. I'm like, crack on. Just do what you have to do. And she said, your BP's lower than mine.
Yeah.
It's like 116 over 68, I think it was. She said, that is amazing. And I'm like, oh, right, thanks.
The reason I'm doing this is because when you have your safe place, when you know how to reduce your stress, life is just so much easier. And it shows up in things like these tests or your blood tests or those kind of things as well. Just like, no, why would I want to have anything wrong, abnormal smears or abnormal blood pressure or anything like that? The only reason it would be there is because you want to tell me something. Okay, so what do you want to tell me?
Yeah. And
it's a phenomenal way of looking at things.
And you're absolutely right, because she was like, I can't believe. She said that's even better than it was last time. And last time it was spot on ideal. She said, but it's better than it was last time. She said, you've got no kidney pressures happening here. She said, it's brilliant. And I'm like, oh, good. I mean, I have changed my eating habits, absolutely.
Okay.
I did have a rubbish day the other day when I just ate rubbish. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But now I've got over that need for rubbish and I've gone back to...
I think it's great when you know why that need is there and let yourself fulfill it. I mean, I had a need the other day and I haven't done it in probably about 3 years. I haven't eaten like a bag of crisps. And I just thought, oh, that would just be so awesome. And I knew, because I spoke to my body and just like, we just want them. We just want to have the experience of them. And that we're eating them just because we enjoy them. But then it had gone, whereas, big packets of crisps used to be my thing. And that was really interesting in the fact that I knew they wouldn't have any effect on my body because I asked my body to accept them. And I allowed myself to have them because that was the experience that my body wanted to have.
And that makes perfect sense because, I literally just had rubbish for the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Sometimes if you've got rubbish coming out, this would be interesting. So sometimes when you've got rubbish coming out, you're detoxing because you've been so energetically like on a high vibe. And the murky water's coming out of your clear glass because you keep putting all the good stuff in. You feel the emotions as they come out again. Do you know what I mean? So like if there's depression or there's sadness or there's angst or there's anxiety or there's whatever, as it's coming out, you feel it again, and it has a certain resonance. And sometimes you match it with the food that matches that. The same as the people that you attract are of the same vibration. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah, it makes sense, as long as I haven't fed those feelings again.
You can talk your way through it as well. You can say, you know what, I think it's okay for us to do this. Elaine just answered. Okay, she has a meeting, that's fine. I didn't want to start and be sort of like interrupted halfway through. So what was I saying there? That you have this, oh right, so yes, I was raw vegan. I think I told you the story about that before. I was raw vegan. In other words, nothing cooked, no dairy, because I was being so strict on myself. I'd restricted myself with so much food, because what I was really trying to do was restrict what was going on, feeling what was going on in my environment, because it was just too bully tactics and just too aggressive for me. So I'd kind of like restricted my food down. But I was getting these cravings for boiled egg and toasted soldiers. Shh, it's Elaine. And I don't eat that. I'm eating raw food. I'm a vegan, and I can't do that because I've promised myself, and I'm push that. It used to come up every single Saturday, so I pushed that away. Next Saturday, poof, there it was again. I was like, can't eat that. I don't eat those kind of foods. Pushed it away again. This went on for maybe a month and a half, and I was just like, do you know what? I wonder. I see that I'm really hard on myself. I know that. I take the bar flour remedy for rot water and all the rest of it because I'm forcing myself. Okay, so I'm really, really hard on myself. And people say that to me, I'm really hard on myself. I wonder if there's a message in this. Could I take it or have my boiled egg and toasted soldiers and be okay with it? Yeah, I can. I know how energy works. I can just say to my body, do you know what? You're asking me for this. I'm going to take it. I'm going to have it. I'm going to enjoy it. Made myself 2 boiled eggs, did myself some toast with butter, made them into soldiers, sat down at the table, it's on my own, like a Saturday would do when I was a little girl or, teenager, sat down and ate them. And I was like, I've just been transported, feeling-wise, to being relaxed. What's going on here? What is it? What's the message in this food? I was safe. Yeah, there was angst at home, but at that time, sitting down having boiled egg and toasted soldiers was a nice kind of Saturday routine. Oh God, I was supported. I'm not getting the support that I need. Right. I can't make someone else support me. So who can support me? Well, I can support me. How do I? Just kept asking myself questions. How can I support me? What do I need? What do I want? I'd already done, perfect day scenarios. I knew about coaching. I knew how to sort of ask myself questions, but I hadn't been. And it was the food and the craving that kind of made me ask, what do I need?
And that, I think, is something that's quite hard to get into doing, asking ourselves those questions. Why do I want that? What does that mean?
And it's okay. It's okay to have that craving, but just be interested why you're having that craving. I know exactly why I ate that big bag of crisps, and it was delicious. It was awesome. I was on my own. I was in the house on my own. Alex was in hospital with getting his knee sorted. No kids were here. So I was on my own, so I felt uncomfortable on my own. I'm like, I'm not uncomfortable. I crave to be alone. Why? So I just had all those kind of questions in my head. I'm not uncomfortable. No, I'm not uncomfortable. So it was reminding me what it felt like when the kids used to go and stay with their dad and I was on my own, or something like that, or something was missing. Nothing's missing. Oh, maybe I haven't kind of taken a long enough walk recently. Okay. I haven't really fulfilled. Oh, right. Okay. Because when somebody was out the house, Alex was out the house, I was able to crack on with this and crack on with that and crack on with that and crack on with that. And I was like, do you know what? I actually haven't done something that really fulfills. Ah, right. Okay. I get it. I get
So
what
you hadn't done something for Fiona.
Yeah, exactly. Fulfilling for Fiona. So it
Yeah.
happens all the time. And it can just be those little nudges, those little remnants of something. I don't eat crisps. They're just not there. Not because I forced myself not to buy them, which is my only way of dealing with them in the past. But now it's just because I'm just not attracted to them. But because they were in the house and they were there, I was like, yeah, well, why not? Like, okay, so what's really going on?
It's fascinating and so interesting, and I know that I've still got so much to learn and develop to even have more positive experiences from what I've already experienced.
We are where we are, and that's why, you know, doing this phenomenal inner strength is it's a practice, and I understand that people can't do it unless they know that they're going to be supported through it. I mean, even with what Elaine did last week, you know, to do with the spider thing.
How did she get on?
Spider since, and she's completely, her face, I don't know whether you watched it, but
I saw her face looked, well, yeah,
did you
amazing.
see, you saw that too?
Yeah.
And I just like, she's so much softer.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm like, she had a paint job done on that picture.
Just within about 5 or 15 minutes. But that's why I had to take a photograph of you when we did what we did. But it's just like, just not necessary to carry that around anymore.
Yeah. And that's really good that she's been able to move on from that.
I'm curious to see what else has happened. And she did tell me, because we spoke, and she said, I've even changed my relationship with my sisters. She said, I've just seen how it all, at the time, what was going on in the house, all that. Wow. She said, it's even made me look at her in a different way. She said, I've just carried on asking myself questions about, why did I do that? Why did that happen then? And yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. But yeah, I looked at her face and I'm like, whoa, who is this person and where's Elaine?
I know, where's Elaine gone?
Just looked so different.
Yeah.
It looked absolutely amazing.
And that's what happens. We drop the armor, we soften up, because I know we love talking about this kind of thing anyway, but I mean, you know, we've got the masculine side of things and the feminine side of things. And, you know, a female is a receptacle. She is there to receive. But how can we receive if we're so much in this kind of pushing out energy and kind of forcing things through and all the rest of it? And I love working with intelligent, clever, capable women, because these are classically the kind of women who find it the hardest, because we know how things work up here, but we haven't really allowed ourselves to soften and receive. And because the female energies to us is so allergic, because we're like, oh God, that means we've got to be like victimy and pathetic. And
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, but it's not that way at all. You can be an extremely powerful woman and extremely good at what you do. Don't take any bullshit, but you can still be able to receive. If I said to the women, like I said to you, are you able to say that you're brilliant? Are you able to say that you're, you know, that you like yourself or you love yourself? Can you take a compliment?
I can now.
Yeah. Ideally, the women that I want to speak to we're not able to do that. And at the point that you kind of go, I've just been able to receive.
Yeah. And I have found it so liberating doing this and knowing that you're there if I feel I might be struggling or stumbling over a couple of stones or whatever, because it is about just keeping that going, enjoying it, evolving it, developing it. And I know that I have again sort of turned another corner this last weekend, because I was starting to get a bit again, and I'm like, no, come on, let's just sort this out, get the shoulders down. And all I can think is that the weird dreams that I've had is about just getting rid of everything, because it is all about past stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing past faces, and I am saying, well, goodbye, good luck to you, all the best, enjoy, your life, I'm enjoying my life.
It's like you're in this bubble or this parallel universe. They still exist. They just don't need to knock up against you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, whatever you do, I'm actually not interested. You lead your life, I lead my life. And
it's great that you don't feel that you have to hook into those kind of things either, or be part of absolutely everything. You can still be connected in a very nice way. And that's one of the things I wanted to do today, and just to see where we go with it. So when I find the other little bit of what I want to do, where is it? There it is. Okay. Because this will be extremely nice. So the first thing that I want to be able to do is just allow you, if you're ready to do that now, and if you're happy to do that now, we'll just do a very short kind of tuning in with your body, dropping down, so that again you can find your inner self, who you call Star and I call Roma, and we can tune in to her again, which will help us get the answers to the questions that I'm just going to ask you. And you can start now, but you can also carry on afterwards as well.
cool.
So just relax into your body, and you'll go where you know you're going to go. You do your meditation every day?
No. And I'm being honest, I'm trying, and I have said I must do this every day because I want to do it every day, because it really does, it helps me put things back in order. Well, no, not order, but just back in, yes, back into a place that is better than the chaos that it might have got into. It's like, and I mean, I always go to sleep listening to one of Michael Seeley's sleep hypnosis talks. This week it's been about holistic abundance.
Good.
Last week it was about what was it last week? Inner healing last week. So I'll pick something and I'll listen to it for a few days on the trot.
What you can also do is, if you don't have time to do your meditation, you don't have to do a long one. You can just do a 5-minute one. Just listen to your breathing. So this is what we're going to do now. Okay. So you can take any bit of it that you want, all right? But basically, I'm just trying to find ways to get you inside quicker.
Okay. Right? Yeah, that would be really useful, to get inside faster.
The more you practice, the easier it gets. I know sometimes I also kind of need a bit of a quicker way, or just, just remember to breathe. All the times in the day when you could stop for 5 minutes, like when you go to the toilet, or when you're standing in the kitchen, or when you're driving. It doesn't have to be a closed eye, zonked out meditation. It can just be like...
Yeah, it's not good when driving.
I don't know. I think they could try if we let them. I think just being able to sort of tune in, the quicker we can do it, the better. And just having that trust that they're there all the time, and that we have that connection all the time. So anyway, let's just play the best way that we know. So all I'm going to ask you to do is know that we're going to go and contact Star and contact Roma, so that we can reconnect in with ourselves. Take some deep leveling breaths. Make sure that the way you breathe, if you can visualize a figure of 8 going all the way up and in and around your head, and pivoting down in the figure of 8 down to your tailbone, and as you breathe in, crossing over again at your heart, into your head, and all the way down to your tailbone. Very, very nice, smooth visualization. You are now inside your body. You're inside your skin. Maya says you're inside your skin too. Just do a couple more of those, all the way down. Dropping your shoulders, dropping your hands, dropping your Eyes in the sockets, tongue in your mouth, hips, belly, just melting as if you're a puddle on the floor, just melting. I want you to find the space, the spot inside your mind. If you took from the very top of your crown of your head and where your third eye is, and you go inside your head as to where that would connect, like where the pineal gland is. Just allow yourself to see the little spot of light, the little crystal inside your mind, and do the same figure of 8 movement between the left and the right hemisphere of the mind. Nice, smooth figure of 8. If you can have a look at your mind and see which side looks brighter or bigger or more complicated or more structured, which one has colour, just keep that impression inside you, inside your head, how the 2 hemispheres of the mind look. Imagine there's a window in between the left and the right hemisphere of your mind. And put an energetic hand in and lift up that window in between the 2 so that the 2, left and the right, can communicate with each other. Now you can imagine sand or liquid just moving into the left-hand side of the brain from the right, and the left-hand side of the brain moving into the right, as it changes colour and balances out and evens out. You can also imagine the left-hand side embracing the right-hand side of the mind, and all your beliefs that go along with the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the mind, the practical to the creative, the structure to the flow, as they embrace each other and just welcome each other into each other's world. And as you do that, you level out, you balance out, and everything becomes much, much easier, because you do not have to think about everything all the time. And as you do that, the left and the right hand side of the body balances out, going down through your heart, same figure of 8, going down through your coccyx, the same figure of 8, and expand those figures 8 out beyond the skin so that they're going into your energy, they're going into your aura. Just imagine it vibing in and out with every breath, not just up and down, but in and out. Every time you breathe, you can just bring everything back into that little spot of light in your heart or in your brain, and then expand out. Feeling your heartbeat, feeling your breath. And that's enough. That's enough to reconnect you with your inner self. Look out through your eyes, look out through your heart. Feel your way forward. Without judgment, without criticism, just observing. Just one step forward, just breathe yourself one step forward. You don't need to know what the huge picture builds for you, just be present right now. See what you can taste, see what you can feel in your fingers, see what you can smell. Every situation, every question you have can have a smell or a taste. Or a feel, a sensation. Bring yourself back into all your senses. You may hear a sound, you may have a smell, you may have a taste, you may have a tactile feeling, or you may have your yes and no swaying forward and swaying backwards. This is how your body talks to you. Just be easy within your body and thank it so much for bringing everything to you so that your left-hand side of your brain can be logical and it can translate it for you into words. Thank it for bringing that into a physical experience for you. It's absolutely phenomenal, your body. You've got your gut intuition, your intelligence, and when the two merge, it is absolutely fantastic, along with your soul. So much wisdom you have access to. Knowing how to do this is just another step for you to make it much, much easier for you to contact and connect in with your inner self without too much outside distraction. So when you're ready, and only when you're ready, I'm going to come back, and while we stay in that state, we can ask some questions. Oh my actions. Just very gently, just opening your eyes. I want you to think of a situation that you would like a solution for. It can be anything. It can be to do with work. It can be to do with relationships. Do you have a question? Do you have a thing that you want to try and sort out?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a young planner, Amy, who is an incredibly intelligent and strong-willed person. But doesn't always see the bigger picture, because she is quite controlling. She wants to do her job. She wants to do a really good job. And she just sees that all the things that are happening to the system are there to make her job harder and more difficult.
Right.
And she is really unhappy in her work at the moment. And I don't want her to be really unhappy in her work. She's good at what she does, but I'm not getting through to her about how we are trying to actually make things easier. But we have to go through the process of sometimes the pain to be able to see what is and isn't working to get to the good stuff.
And the reason that you resonate with Amy is because you understand how she feels. So you're being empathic. And you want to make her life easier. And of course, if she understands it all, she won't be battling up against you either.
Yeah.
All right, so choose 3 different approaches that you can use, a traditional approach, things that you would like to try to get her to see things from a different perspective. So think about, you can write them down, or you can have them in your head, or you can kind of go, okay, well, I'd try this. So, you know, the same with children, there's punishment, there's incentive, or there's other things. So think of 3 ways, like if you're a business, you'd think, well, I could advertise, or I could network. So just think of 3 different ways that you could handle that.
I mean, I've tried to incentivize and get her engaged in the whole process. But at the moment she's also at loggerheads with one of the contract managers. She can't abide to be in the same room as him. And I can understand that, because he can be abrasive at times, and he literally does not understand how the system works.
Which will be her lesson to learn with him being like that with you or her. There's always like this, what part of me do I, what thing do I need to learn about that? So incentivize. What else?
I haven't gone down the punishment route because I don't think that necessarily
No,
will
you
reach
can't restrict
any.
because you're a boss or whatever, but think of another angle that you could try to help her see sense, one-to-one mentorship, or going taking out for lunch, or how else would you think about approaching that?
Well, I did ideally want to do some one-to-one coaching and mentoring with one of the leaders of that particular forum. But she's also a friend, and she's the friend that burst into tears today on the phone. And I'm like, I can't ask you to do this at the moment because you're not in the right place to do this.
Either. All right. So there's a lot of people around that aren't the right. But you did think about one-to-one coaching. So I'm just asking you. So you thought about incentivizing in whatever you feel incentivizing works. Maybe one-to-one coaching. So how else might you think of being able to deal with that?
I've asked her to become involved, so that the decisions that are being made, she has input into. But the response is, what's the point? We're not listened to, you're not listened to, so there's no point.
All right, so you've incentivized one-to-one coaching or explained the bigger picture. Okay, so you've got three ways of dealing with it. The fourth way would be do nothing. Okay. So I'm just playing with you here. I want to show you how you can also do something. So going back inside your body, so that everything's just, you're not thinking about it. Melting away, breathing, getting in touch with your breath and your heartbeat. You're inside your body. You're asking Scarlett just for some playtime, just to see what might be the best way to approach this situation. I would like her to give you a smell or a taste or a food that would be equivalent to your first way of solving this, which would be to incentivize her. See if you can get a smell or a taste or an item of food or however it comes to you, which would help you make a decision how to handle this situation. We can talk about what you get and what I get after. Let me know when you've got an idea, if you've managed to get a...
I keep getting wine, but I'm fighting against wine because it's not something I want to encourage somebody to do.
Don't worry, because it's not physical, it's what's behind it, or the effect of it, or the way it feels in the body. So you just said wine. What kind of wine?
White, fizzy, Prosecco type.
Very sweet. Just going to let Maya out because she's... Right, go back into your quiet place. Do the same thing again, no judgment of whatever you're getting shown, whatever comes up for you, and if it won't go away in your head, that's what we want to choose. Breathing in, breathing out. Inside your body, this has got nothing to do with you whatsoever. You do not exist. You have melted into the carpet. The second solution that you came up with, some one-to-one coaching, a little bit of team building, mentoring. What flavour, what taste, what smell, what item of food or drink do you get that associates you with that choice?
Melon.
Huh?
Melon.
Okay. Any kind of melon?
No, just melon. I said, what type of melon, and there was all the greens, the oranges, the yellows were.
Just any
They were
melon.
all, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. But it had a fizziness on my tongue.
Oh, right.
So that to me is a melon that's gone off.
Gone off, yeah. It's like a little bit overdue. A little bit fermented.
Fermented, yes. Yeah. Because the end of my tongue was like tingle, tingle, tingle. And I'm like, oh.
Okay. Go back inside again. Allow your eyes just to look down into your body and just catch hold of your breathing and your heartbeat. Look at Scarlett lying on the inside of you in a great big fat cushion. Oh, Starry. Now, your third option that I'd like you to get a smell or a taste or an item of food or something like that for would be you really want to explain to her and get it over to her what the big picture is here. Did you get anything?
There's a smell of something, but I can't work out what it is.
Okay, just stay there then and just see. Just ask Star to give you like, first quick impression.
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
That's interesting because I don't like it.
Huh?
I don't like jasmine.
Okay, that's good.
I find it, to me, it's not a nice fragrance. That's why I'm like, what is that?
Sickly sweet?
Okay.
It's all right. Good. And then the fourth thing, when you look down and you listen to your heartbeat, look at breathing. Do nothing. Do nothing about the situation at all. Doesn't mean that it'll get worse, doesn't mean anything, just do nothing.
That's interesting. I feel weight here.
Okay.
And here in my lowest, solar plexus. It is solar plexus.
You feel weight?
Yeah.
Good weight or bad weight?
Bad weight.
Okay. What you can do now is, having had those kind of answers, and as you develop and as you practice, it's kind of like a little bit more fun to play with, but you can see how certain things come through. But interpreting them, so like maybe the first one would be you wanted to incentivize her, and it was wine, fizzy, prosecco, very sweet. What would that mean to you? If you think about the wine, how does it make you feel?
To me, it's almost like a sticking plaster. It's a temporary release. It doesn't ever solve the bigger problem because it's always there underneath that you might feel a little bit better whilst you've got that buzzy feeling from drinking it.
Takes it away for a while, but it's not permanent.
No.
Okay. One-to-one coaching, you got fermented melon, a little bit fizzy. So what would that mean to you?
But maybe that's not what she wants because it's going off.
Okay, hang on a second. Just go into the fermented melon. Is there anything else in there? The same as the wine would be putting a plaster over it. So the fermented melon, without thinking too much, fermented melon.
It wouldn't last because it would rot.
So for me then, it's something you don't really want to have to do. You don't want to eat it. You don't want to eat it.
No.
And you don't really want to drink that wine. Because that's okay. And the explaining the bigger picture. That was jasmine. Which you don't really like.
Good, but I don't like the smell of it, no.
No. And the do nothing.
What I have just felt and got is I'm avoiding dealing with this. But I want to deal with it, but I don't know how to deal with it.
Oh, we're going to go there in a minute. I just got an image. I got an image when we did the do nothing. So, all right. So the do nothing was the heavy weight, because actually it's causing you heavy weight because you're not able to deal with it. It's not solving. It's actually making your life pretty shitty.
Yeah. I mean, I am sort of not allowing it to affect me.
But you're forcing it not to affect you.
But I know it's still there, but I know it's also affected her because her weight has absolutely spiraled and she's put loads on.
Okay.
So she's obviously having some side effects of what she's feeling and why she's feeling it.
All right. So to end this off, there's another way of dealing with it that I just got from this, and I want to just tell you how to do this. I want you to connect with her soul.
Right.
So the figure of 8 that is going up and down or in and out of you, I want your heart to connect with her heart in a figure of 8. You don't do anything on a physical level. You're leaving this all up to Star. But you're going to design what you want to happen instead. How would you describe that you wanted her to have an experience? So you would say, I want her to be, I can see her being so happy in work. She's so easy. She gets the big picture. She's enthusiastic. She wants to help the team. She's coming into work.
All of that.
All right. How would that feel when she's doing that?
It would be amazing because with her negativity that's resonating out, others are picking up on it.
Right, don't worry about that. How would it feel in your body?
Oh, well, I wouldn't have
that
the
being
weight.
the case, you wouldn't have the weight, but how does it feel in your body when you say, I'm going to get you to say the words, she's coming into work, she's so enthusiastic, she's happy to work. I love working with her. She's so jolly, she's so funny. She's interested to be around. She's got the bigger picture. She's just taken leaps and bounds, and it's only taken a few weeks. She's a changed person. I absolutely love working with her. So does everybody else. How does that feel in your body?
Exciting. It really feels, it's like, whoa, this could be so good for her, so good for the team.
This is how you set it up.
Right.
Journal and have that feeling when you're journaling. It's like it's so exciting to work with her, and I love the way she's turned out. It's amazing. We forget to do this. We have the charm, we have the ability, we have the inner strength to do this, we have the power to do this, and I myself forget, but I know how to do it, and then when I do it, I'm astounded every single time. Take the time to just design it. How do you want it to be instead?
Yeah.
And remember, just take a breath, feel excited, and just see her face in front of you and just say, you are a joy to work with.
I will give that.
Try it for a week, for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to try anything.
Well, there you go. Try that.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah.
I am doing that at the moment with one of my boys. Yeah, to do schoolwork and all that kind of crap. Doesn't see the big picture. Because, you know, we have these kind of like inner selves, and he's forgetting to use that, and it's just teenagers. So I did that with my eldest son, Mika, and it changed him within a week. We used to butt heads a lot. I just changed it around, and he's so generous, he's so helpful, he's so willing, he's such a joy to be with, he's easy, he wakes up happy. The only person who has to change energy is you. And he changed within a week. And I forget how to do it every single time. Maybe Alex and I have a little bit of a like, really? I haven't set it up. I didn't set my birthday up very well. Which leaves us women very disappointed.
Mm. Yeah. And it is about, as you say, it's that sense, isn't it? It's about,
what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? I can't give you anything unless you tell me what you want and tell me how that feels.
Mm.
All right. So there you go. And if you think about anything else that you want to set up, just play.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah. I had lapsed on thinking about setting something up, how it could play out instead.
I know we talked about it, but there's so much that we talked about.
Mm. And in some ways it's like I need to almost listen to everything else again and again and again and again and again.
I'm doing the same. I'm you know, doing these medical mediums, and I'm doing deeper intuition. I'm just like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. You know, there's so much to do. Because you get to a certain level and you kind of plateau for a little bit. It's kind of like, I know there's so much more I'm able to do. I know I'm more powerful than this. I know there's other things that I can play with, and I'm desperate to play. But then you go back to your normal way of doing things, because that's how we operate. And all I'm doing is just kicking you up the backside to show you that there are other ways of doing things. And we've talked about them. It's really exciting. I want to be able to do that. I know it was going to work. It's like, oh God, you've forgotten all about that. So I'm just here to remind you.
And it's those reminders of the tools that you have given me that are in my arsenal that I've forgotten that they're there. Like, yeah, of course.
Hundreds. And then they become really, really easy. The more you play with them, the more you know how to use them, and you'll just forget that you're doing them. They don't take half an hour a day. It's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I do feel so much better this week than I did last week. And I have really taken that on board as come on, you've reneged on your agreement.
She's not punishing you. She's giving you the biggest gift ever, in that there's so much more.
Oh gosh, yeah, I do see it like that.
Wrong. You haven't done anything wrong or slowed down or anything. It's just like, hey, hang on a second.
Yeah. No, I do very much see it like that.
And look out for sort of like, you know, really raising your vibe up when you drive to work or do whatever. I mean, the same as me, I forget to go out in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do this, and this. And then when you get the chance to go out, you're going to go, oh my God, it's so pretty. Look at those leaves, look at those flowers, look at the sea, look at, you know, and you just feel so much better. And all of a sudden a car drives past you at 777 or a 222, or I'm like, I've just been kissed. I've just been kissed. This life's so good. And you're in a different place, but it takes practice.
Yes. Yeah, as you say, like everything, you have to practice doing it for it to become easier and easier and easier. Because nobody
and
gets there without
accessing
practice.
in quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure. Last week was Elaine getting rid of her spider phobia, and this week it's just showing you just a different technique, a different way of doing something.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pretty.
How are all of the men in your life?
They're good. We've got 6-pack this week. Got Alex's boys, and we're back on the warpath with homework and getting off screens and phones and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, I'm overwhelmed with how much I have to do or I want to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I can do this, I can do that. That's so exciting. Woo. And, you know, new clients coming board and those kind of things. I'm just like, oh yeah, I've got kids to look after. So I need to set that up as well. It's like, okay. So Alex has had his operation. He's hobbling around. And
does that look like it'll be a positive result?
Oh, it will be. Yeah, he's healing very fast.
Oh, good.
And again, it's like, okay, I need to take care of him. I need to take care of that. And I even said yesterday, I'm overwhelmed. I've just got so much to do. I'd forgotten to do my tax return. I'm like, okay, get that done today. Ka-ching, done. And, you know, we can get in the phase there of kind of like, oh, I've just got so much to do. Why is it always me? And just like, hang on a second, turn that around. And that's why I'm trying to turn around. And it's just remembering that it's just journaling or just thinking differently about one of the kids. Are like, just thinking differently about that. And the one that was annoying me the most, just that's changed too. So things change all the time. And I know that the sort of this little phase, this little slump, sometimes I'm like, so what's the lesson for me there? Why is he doing that to me or in my vicinity, or what's that got to do with me? And I now got the big lesson to do with the other one that was annoying me. I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to be more playful and, you know, stop making everything so serious. And I'm still waiting to see the full extent of the being dog lazy and messy being a boy.
And that's all part and parcel of it, isn't it? It's always that journey of discovery. Yeah. And knowing, like, oh my God, I used to be just as messy and just as resistant to doing anything serious like freaking homework. And look where I am now. Nobody ever asked me for any of my school results. No, I don't think they do, though, do they?
But you have to jump through the hoops.
Yeah, you do. Well, give my best to everybody.
Okay.
Give Mia a hug for me.
I will. She's gone to get her dinner now. She's stopped complaining.
And take care, honey.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely week, and let me know how you're going. And just if you've got any SOSs that you need to, you know, let me know about, then I'm here.
Thank you. I will ping them across.
Lovely to see you. Glad that you're much, much better and that you can see why.
Oh, absolutely.
And any little hurdle and things that you have, I mean, these are just like different techniques of being able to deal with them.
Much, much appreciated. Thank you. Take care. See you soon.
So nice to have you in my life.
Oh, and you in mine. Very much so. Bye.
Bye.